welcome to Walking the Path. I'm so glad that you're here walking the path with me. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, so we have to be walking the path. We're walking the path every day. Hey, welcome. So glad everybody's joining. Thank you for joining. So today, I want to talk to you about unbecoming. This is a major pillar for me, in my understanding, a major pillar of spiritual growth and development. That we have to unbecome all the things that we thought we had to be in order to get our needs met. That piece of unbecoming is a key to our spiritual growth and development. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about that. But before I do that, I want to tell you about Rhythmia. And Rhythmia, whoa! I've been there this week attending classes and teaching classes, and what an amazing week. Powerful week this week. You know, it just goes to show that whatever is happening, everything that's happening is happening for us. Everything that's happening can be, hey, everybody, wow, I love all this. Join and welcome. Hey, everybody. Everything in our lives is there for us to grow. Everything is there to nourish us. Everything is there to feed back to us some aspect of ourselves that is seeking to be brought to the light. So whatever's happening in life, we have to be in acceptance of it. And this is what's happening at Rhythmia right now. Like, stuff happens. You come with this intention to heal. You come with an intention to grow. And then that's what happens. But it looks a little messy, right? It looks a little different than what you thought. And I'm just acknowledging all those beautiful souls that are at Rhythmia this week, that I've walked with this week. The whole staff. It's not just me. My God, the staff, the holistic team, the shaman, the teachers, the restaurant staff, the front desk staff. Everybody is working together to make sure that you have the most amazing experience and a breakthrough in your life. Not just a breakthrough, but a miracle, a life-changing miracle that says that something's different now and I can't go back. There's no going back, right? Something shifted and I can't unsee the truth about myself. I can't unsee the truth that all is well and that I am a transparency for divine information, divine intelligence, divine love, divine light, divine beauty, divine joy, divine harmony, divine balance to shine through me. This is what happens. We clean up all the gook, all the stuff that we've become. We clean it all up. Heaven hospital on earth. I love that, Nikki. Yes. The barber Ishmael. Hey, hermano, ¿cómo estás? Gusto a verte. Acaba de afectarme. One of the guys that's watching is a barber that I met in San Jose. Super cool. Gusto a verte. Bueno, ok, entonces debemos adelantar en español. No sé. Okay. So Rhythmia, amazing cocoon of transformation. It's a cocoon of transformation where you go in, and what happens in the cocoon? The caterpillar gets dissolved. It turns into this mush. And then it gets remade into a butterfly. And it takes a little work to push out of the chrysalis, right? The butterfly's got to push out of the chrysalis so that when it gets out, its wings are strong enough to fly. So that's what's going on at Rhythmia. Every week. And I get to be there and participate and witness. And whoa, I'm so grateful for Rhythmia to be on this planet. I'm so grateful for Jerry and his vision, and Jeff and his stewardship and vision and stewardship of Jerry. Like, I'm just grateful for it all, and all my beautiful friends and family there, and all the friends and family that I meet each week. Welcome. All right, now, unbecoming, our topic of the day. So, in essence, unbecoming is the first step to seeing the truth of who you are. Unbecoming is the first step in as we start to realize that our mind, our thoughts, we are not our thoughts. As we start to realize that we have these thoughts, we have this thing called a mind. It's a machine. It's a machine, and it's constantly producing meaning. It's like a machine that gets programmed to, like, let's make meaning. Okay, we're making meaning out of everything. And we make meaning. We make up stories, we make myths, we make narratives about ourselves and about the world and how life is. And these things get all sutured into us early on in childhood. And then we come to a point in our lives where maybe we're wanting more. Maybe there's a calling for a deeper spiritual growth and development. Maybe there's something in our lives that we want to shift, that we want to change. And we get to that point and it's like, well, how do I make this change? I want this life, but I'm living this life. And the life that we're living is a condensation of our previously held thoughts, beliefs, opinions, points of view, perspectives. It's a condensation of what we've been thinking about. What we think about, we bring about. The energy that we put out in our thoughts and our thinking and our mentation, right, starts to create a material reality. We've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks, that our thoughts create things from the field to the form, from consciousness to the material world. This is how everything works. We've been talking about it. So what we are experiencing right now, all the stuff that's congealed onto us, is things that we have taken on freely in order to fit in order to feel like we belong, in order to feel like we're loved, in order to feel like we're enough. So the process of unbecoming is key to our spiritual growth and development. So there's an old Buddhist saying that says, we're all struggling to become more of what we already are. And I always thought, like, well, how the hell do I become more of what I already am? Right? How do I become more of what I already am? By becoming less of what I'm not. That's the key to unbecoming, becoming less of the things that aren't really who I am, less of the stories, the myths, the narratives that I've told myself about why something happened or why I'm the way or I am this way. So here's the good news. You don't have to do anything to unbecome. All you have to do is start observing in your life every day. So one of the things that I wrote in the caption for the post to invite you to come see this was that I've had a really challenging week. Really challenging stuff has been up in my face. Just really, it's not very pretty. It's not been pleasant. But I knew the whole time that it was for my growth. I knew the whole time that it was for my best and highest good. And so that's a fundamental belief in the process of unbecoming, is we have to be anchored in the truth that everything is unfolding for us, not against us. Why is it unfolding for us? Because whatever we're experiencing is an experience that's getting us to grow, to push through ego boundaries, to push through the limits of what we think we are, who we think we are, to push through the limits of our protective mechanisms and our defense mechanisms. So this week has been challenging. And there were times I've used every tool that I could this week, every tool. Meditation, breath work, movement, nature walks. At some points, being present is one of the biggest tools. And at some points when the mind is wanting to, Ethan, thank you, brother. I need to tell you about it, man. Ethan says, hey, Gobi, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Woo! So at some points during the week, going through it. I was walking on the beach. I'm walking my dog on the beach. It's beautiful. It's sunset. The tide is coming in. You're on this deserted beach in Costa Rica. It's paradise. And all I can see is upset, what I'm going through, right? And I'm looking at myself going, there's all this beauty around me and I can't even appreciate it because I'm so upset. So, you want to get out of that. But at one point, I had to just literally make myself aware of my present surroundings. I was literally walking down the beach going, there's a tree, there's a dog, there's a guy, he's walking towards me, he waved to me, there's a wave coming in, there's a bird, the sun is setting, the waves are coming in, my feet are touching the sand, the wind is rushing over my skin. Get present, get in right here, right now. Right here, right now, because any of the rumination, any of the thoughts about what's right, what's wrong, who's wrong, all of that doesn't get us anywhere. There's no cheese down that tunnel, right? There's no cheese down that tunnel. So we got to get present. We got to get clear and get present so that we can be available to our emotions and to what's coming up without wanting to just be present to like, there's anger in my body right now. I'm experiencing anger in my body. I'm experiencing sadness in my body. So the first part of beginning the unbecoming is radical acceptance. Radical acceptance of what's so. And you get to radical acceptance of what's so by being present in the moment without filtering it, without judgment, just getting, thank you. Piper goes clear and present. Piper, I'm going to read your other comment in a second. So the first part of unbecoming is radical acceptance. We have to accept everything just the way it is, just as it is. We have to accept ourselves just as we are. Whether you did something or you didn't do something, or someone's accusing you of something and you didn't do it, whatever it is, you got to accept yourself, all the feelings that you're having. There's not one part of you, there's not one part of me, not one part that doesn't deserve to be loved and appreciated. The part that's angry, the part that's sad, the part that's embarrassed, the part that wants to go punch somebody, whatever it is. By acknowledging those parts, we recollect them. For years, I thought it was cutting things out. But it's not cutting that stuff out. You can't cut out your anger. You can't cut out your sadness. You gotta love it in. You gotta accept it in. How do you love it? Sometimes it's hard to love my anger, or hard to love my embarrassment, or hard to love my sadness. So I have to accept it. Acceptance is the next level of loving, right? Just I gotta accept this. There's anger in my body. And when I say there's anger in my body, I'm experiencing anger in my body right now. That immediately creates a distance. A space between that I'm observing that emotion. So the first part of unbecoming is radical acceptance. The next part, once we're in acceptance, we can move into forgiveness. We can move into a deeper state of forgiveness of self and others. Because the more we hold on to this toxic blame and shame and guilt and pointing the finger and defending ourselves and all of that, that's just poison for us. That's just toxic stuff going on in our body that has nothing to do other than cause harm to our physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. So we don't want to jump to forgiveness right away. We can't. I couldn't jump to forgiveness right away. I had to experience my anger. I had to experience my sadness. I had to experience my righteous indignation, right? I had to experience my embarrassment. I had to experience all of that so I could be with it, be present to it until I could get to the point where I could move into forgiveness. Don't move. Don't try and short circuit it and jump into forgiveness because we're supposed to be spiritual people. You're human. We're human. We're all human. And we have to acknowledge those feelings, that what we resist persists. In fact, it's the most efficient way to move through those emotions. But then you can move into forgiveness of self and others. All forgiveness is really forgiveness. All forgiveness is really self-forgiveness. We move into this deep state of realization that anything that I have done to hurt, harm, or endanger anyone, intentionally or unintentionally, is forgiven. I forgive myself for that. And anything that anyone did to me to hurt, harm, or endanger me, intentionally or unintentionally, I forgive. I release them and I release myself from the toxic chains of unforgiveness. And when I can do that, I can feel myself lightening up. And it's not a one and done thing. Let me tell you, it ain't one and done, because the stuff keeps coming up, right? You think, all right, I've moved through this. I've accepted my anger, but then you get angry again. And it's not like, oh, I haven't fixed this. It's like, oh, there's another layer of this coming up. Let me deal with this. It's just, this is what we simply do. Here it is again, here it is again, here it is again. And each time has a little bit less of a charge. Each time it gets a little bit less clingy to us. So we begin with our forgiveness. Another great forgiveness practice that I love and use is ho'oponopono, the great Hawaiian tradition. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. So I walk through that for myself. I'm sorry for all the times that I was defensive, all the times that I chose lower. I'm sorry for all the times that I didn't do my best. I'm sorry for whatever it is. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I can forgive myself for this. I don't have to hold on to this story. It's not doing me any good. It's not getting me any closer to the truth. I can forgive myself. I don't have to deal with this constantly. I can forgive myself. Thank you. Thank you for being willing, JJ. Thank you for being open. Thank you. You're saying this to yourself. Thank you, self, for being willing to move through this. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being a good person. Thank you for trying your best. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you just the way you are. I love everything that you are and everything that you're not. I have to go through this process for myself and then for the others. You know, as we move into forgiveness, we begin to step into a deeper state of surrender. We begin to surrender to what is so that you get to a place where you say, Spirit, I know that no matter what's happening, you're putting me with the people that I need to be with in the places that I need to be, saying and doing the things that I need to be doing. I surrender. I surrender all. I surrender all to God. I surrender all to Spirit. I surrender all to the universe. I surrender all to the unfoldment. I surrender it all. I don't need to hold on to this stuff. I don't need to try and control it. So unbecoming, the process of unbecoming is first in your everyday life when stuff's like in your face, right? You start to observe. First, you observe. You begin to see what's moving through your body. And from what's moving through your body, you then can move into a deeper realization of seeing those things that you're not. Right? Let's go back to the process of unbecoming, the beginning part of acceptance. Right? The beginning part of unbecoming of acceptance. Let's go back to that because this is crucial. That we are meaning-making machines. Right? Our mind is a meaning-making machine. It's pumping out these narratives. It's making connections. Well, I saw them there and I read this thing online and then I heard this from somebody else. So 1, 2, 3 means that person did this to me. Right? So the mind's going to be putting stories together. It's going to be, and what's the truth and what's not. And come to this acceptance and we begin to realize that we can see underneath the way that we are responding or reacting to the current circumstance, the current stimuli, how we're responding to it is based on old stories. It's based on old narratives. So here's some of the old narratives that I came up with this week. I saw one old narrative that says, I'm slow. I'm not as quick as other people. I just am not as smart. You know, this is a childhood thing. I don't believe that anymore, but it's deeply sutured. And I start to notice it. Oh, there was that thought. It's like it's like an errant thought that runs across the stratosphere of my thinking, right? Just this thought that just goes by, but I got to catch it. Oh, wow. That's an old thought. That's an old thought that I'm not quick, I'm smart, I just don't get stuff done fast. That's an old thought. That's a limiting belief. Another one was this story. This is a story from childhood. I was the last of 6 kids, and I had 5 older brothers and sisters, and my parents. So there were 7 people there to tell me when I messed up all the time. 7 people just like nailing me for nope. Of course they were all so much older than me. Right? They were just trying to help out. But to me as a kid, it was like, I'm always doing something wrong, you know? So I didn't distinguish this story until recently, but stuff had been coming up and I started to distinguish this story through observation. And the story is, I've done something wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get in trouble. That's a childhood story, but I've been walking around with this sense of anxiety, this deep sense of anxiety, like, something's wrong. Something's going to happen, like waiting for the other shoe to drop kind of thing. Where did that come from? For me, it came from childhood. So we start to see, what am I feeling? I'm feeling like just anxiety. Something's going to happen. Something's wrong. When do I first remember? Trace it back. When do I remember feeling that way? What are the thoughts and what's connected to that? When's the earliest memory of that? I started remembering all these times that my brothers and sisters and my parents were like, my dad would flick my ear like really hard. He'd just walk up and be like, bam, I wouldn't know. I'd be doing something, and bam, whoa, what the heck? What did I do? I did something wrong. I don't know what it is, but I got in trouble, right? So So the part of unbecoming and this, the first step of unbecoming with the acceptance piece is that we begin to observe the narratives, that the old narratives that are supporting what the current circumstances are. And here's the beauty of the universe. That's why I said in the beginning, it's all happening for us. No matter how ugly, no matter how unjust or unfair or how sad, whatever it is that's happening to you, it's happening for you. It's happening for me to see something, for me to grow and expand, for me to deepen my forgiveness, for me to surrender fully to the process, stop resisting. So this is the process of unbecoming. Do I want to say anything else? Let me check in. Piper says, self-love and forgiveness feels impossible once loved ones have passed over. I find myself holding on to the emotions of childhood pain, can't seem to rise above parental words and wounds last a lifetime. Piper, you can do this forgiveness exercise with those who have passed over. And I want to tell everybody this. When my dad passed away 3 years ago, I went into ceremony. He passed away on a Tuesday, and we did ceremony on Thursday. And I asked to speak with him, and I got him. I didn't see him, but I heard him. And I asked Dad, "Is that you?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's me." I go, "Where's Mom? Is Mom with you?" And he goes, "I thought you wanted to see me." I go, "Oh, that's my dad." And I go, "Yeah, I wanted to see you." And he said this to me. And Piper, I'm saying this to you. He said to me, "Son, you can always rely on me. And I can do more for you now than I ever could when I was on earth." So Piper, we can rely on our ancestors, on those who have passed over, and we can connect with them. But we must connect with them. We can connect with them. It's easier to connect with them in joy, but we can connect with them and start to say to them, maybe even get into a deep meditative state and see them coming to you on a cloud. See them floating towards you on a cloud. And now you're on a cloud and they're on a cloud, and you can speak to them, Piper, and you can say anything that you've intentionally or unintentionally done. I forgive you. Anything you've unintentionally or intentionally done to hurt, harm, or endanger me, I forgive you. We're human. You were just doing the best you could, even though it wasn't enough. But that was the best. That's the one thing I know, is that everybody's pretty much just doing the best that they can right now, So we can begin to say, Piper, I also think of this famous quote from Athenian statesman Pericles. He ruled Athens in like 300 BC, at the time of Athens' height, the height of Athens. And he said, "Who I am, I owe to those who came before me. What I become, I owe to those. No, who I am, I owe to those who came before me. What I become, I owe to myself. What I become, I owe to myself." So we can forgive. We forgive the past, and we can move from this point. All right, that was the past, and all those things happened, and now I can unbecome all of that and become my greatest expression. I can become that which I was meant to be. Nikki says, "Wow, I just realized the song Humpty Dumpty made me feel I was broken." What a great realization, Nikki. This is how trauma happens. Trauma isn't what happened. Trauma is the stories that we tell ourselves about what happened. So sometimes, like a nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty fell on a wall, made you feel broken. Personally, Nikki, let me tell you, I never liked The Sound of Music as a kid. I was like, ooh, it's so sticky sweet. Thank you. Nives, Jean Baptiste. Wonderful. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm looking at some comments here. Please excuse me, because I'm on different platforms. I don't know if you can see them or not, but wonderful. So we've talked about unbecoming. We've talked about unbecoming, the stories that we freely take on when we're young, and stories that tend to become embedded in our consciousness and that we act from. All we have to do is observe what's happening in our contemporary life and how we're reacting to it. And they lead us back. They're breadcrumbs that lead us back to those earlier stories. We get to see them. And in the act of seeing them, we get to forgive them. we get to forgive ourselves, and we get to forgive others. As we move into a deeper state of forgiveness, we surrender. And as we surrender with patience, we surrender with patience, we surrender with trust, we surrender with meditation, we surrender with awareness, and we surrender with faith. Faith that it's all going to work out. Trust that everything has already worked out. It already works, it always does. If it hadn't worked out already, we wouldn't be here. A patience, everything happens at its own time. Everything unfolds. Flowers bloom in different times, different ways, different soil. Everything is different. Things happen in nature in its own time. One seed germinates in 30 days, another in 28. It's life, patience, trust, faith, awareness. Awareness is the first part of unbecoming. We must be our awareness to what's showing up for us. And then finally, meditation, meditation. We start to pay attention to what's real, not the shit that's going on in our heads, but the truth of life, that life is unfolding for life, that life is for life, that life is for itself. Life is always for more life. Think about the blade of grass that pops up through the concrete. Think about that. I love Jurassic Park statement. Life will find a way. Life will find a way. So life is for more life. Life will find a way. Life is for itself. And guess what? We're a part of life. We're alive. We don't have to go anywhere to connect with nature. We are nature. We're nature itself. Living, moving being. So if life is for itself, and life always finds a way, and life is for more life, and we're life itself, then life is for us. No matter what the appearances are, life is for us. This is our surrender practice. We start to move into this deep surrender with a deep awareness that life is for us and nothing can be against. We begin to open our perceptual windows because there's infinite possibility. We're just interacting with that infinite possibility in a limited way. So through the process of unbecoming, forgiveness, and surrender, we open up our perception so that we can experience the possibility in a larger way. That's the key right there. Expanded awareness. All right. My brothers and sisters, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that you all joined today for Walking the Path. I'm so grateful and so thankful for this moment. I'm so grateful and so thankful for this life. I'm so grateful and so thankful for everything, even the stuff that doesn't fit my picture, because I know it's all for me. I'm thankful for the ups and downs. I'm thankful for the challenges. I'm thankful for the joys. I'm thankful for all the ease and grace with which we really live. When stuff's going wrong, sometimes I lose sight of the fact that I have so many conveniences. I can turn on the water and I have running water and I can adjust the temperature, and I have a refrigerator and a car, and the doors and windows close on my house, and like all of this stuff that we think is so much is going right in our lives. So many little things are there to support. So much is going right. And then I tend to focus on the one black spot in the middle of the white page. So we open up our windows with gratitude to say, I'm so grateful for all this stuff. I have 10 fingers. Well, 8 and 2 thumbs, right? I got 2 feet and 2 hands and 2 eyes and 2 ears. I can hear, I can smell, I can see, I can taste, I can touch. Woo, I can kiss, I can hug. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And this is the moment where we recognize the divine presence. We recognize that there's something greater than just this, sum of the parts. We recognize that there's something greater that moves dimensions and spins out galaxies. We recognize it. And I know that it is from this infinite field that I emerge and you emerge. We can't be separate from the thing itself. We didn't come from nothing. We came from something. And we have all the qualities and quantities of that something. Unlimited. There's no max on God. There's no cap on God. So if we're one with it, and it's this powerful, it's this loving, it's this omniscient, omnipotent, omniactive, and omnipresent, then I can speak this word for myself and for each of you, knowing that everything is working together for our good, that all of our needs are met. All of our needs are met. Feel it right now that all your needs are met. All of our needs are met right now. I don't care what's happening in 10 minutes. Right now, right this second, you're sitting here listening to this. Your needs are met. You don't need anything right now. I don't need anything right now. Right this second, I'm okay. We move on moment by moment by moment to build a consciousness of all needs met, that everything is unfolding for our best and highest good, that everything always works out for us, that we hear the voice of intuition, that we are guided, that divine wisdom flows through us, that spirit directs us to exactly who we need to be with, where we need to be, when we need to be there, what we need to be doing, the people and things in our lives, the circumstances that occur are happening for us. If it's not a vibrational match, we move on. We send love and blessings, we send love and forgiveness out, and we move on. Because we're being directed. We hear the voice of intuition and give immediate obedience to it. We know that the divine wisdom guides our steps. Our steps are guided for and provided for, directed and protected. For we have faith in this invisible force of life, this life force. Nobody can deny that there's a life force. Nobody can deny that there's something inside us that's animating our souls, that's spinning the planet. Whatever you call it, that's the force of life itself. That's the force that finds a way. And so I know it is this life force that is carrying me, that is leading me, that guides the way, that makes the bumpy ways smooth and the crooked ways straight. It is this magic-making integrity that brings us our truest heart's desire. All we must do is cultivate that which in us to realize our highest good, our highest desire. So my prayer today is that each of us have a deep reckoning within us and open up the perceptual windows, open up our perception to participate and interact with infinite possibility and infinite potential, so that we can live a life that we love, so that we can live a life of full expression, that we're delivering all of our gifts and talents onto the planet and being a beneficial presence. Through individual transformation, we create a world that works for the best and highest good of all. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here to do. And we do it by surrendering. We do it by unbecoming. We do it by forgiving. We do it by bringing our awareness to what's happening, opening up to see something new. And we know that the presence of God is always guiding us, always helping us, always living us. So we let it be. With such gratitude, we're going to let it be. We know that the presence of infinite intelligence, the life force itself, is moving through and as everything, so we can let it be. We don't have to try so hard. We don't have to strive so hard. We can let this magnificent force of life, the presence of God, the intelligence of God, the love of God, the wisdom of God, we can let it carry us on the stream of life, so that we're caught. We're caught by the surprise of our own unfolding, better than we could have ever imagined, more good than we could have ever imagined, more love, more prosperity, more health, more vitality, more abundance, more peace, more joy. It's all happening for us. Even when we're in the muck, even when we're in crud, the lotus blossom rises above. We're blooming, baby. So grateful, so thankful. I release this word. I let it be. I let it be. I let the life force be. I let it do its work. And say amen. Ashe, aho, hayaya. Much love. Thank you.